Give me 1 second. A special word from our boy Sam. I have to do it this weird way.
I barely remember that. I was what? 12, 13? We fucking done it. We're gonna win the fucking league. I'm fucking telling you.
I only caught the end of that, but I feel like that's probably the most important part.
Fucking done it is what I heard.
A little ahead of myself, anyways. Hope you guys heard that. I tried to do it more justice. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast. Podcast number 97. And we got a great one today. We're all feeling good. Happy moods. I'm your guy, Danny, as always, joined by my man, Steph. Steph, what's up, bro?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I mean, couldn't even be better than what happened today on the extra time. I was okay with the tie, but then when we scored a late goal, I was like, yeah, baby. So winning against Sporting Lisboa, Benfica was a great feeling. A 1-0 nil. So let's do it. It was a great win.
Agreed. Also joined by my man Christian. Christian, what's good, bro?
What a crazy day overall, basically, with what was basically effectively deadline day and the game, like to round out the day. I mean, I was like refreshing my phone every 5 minutes, it felt like today. But I mean, I guess we got everything we wanted, right? Amorim got his man, and we got a big result. So I'm doing fantastic.
Facts. And last but not least, joined by my man Nando. Nando, what's good, bro?
Bro, I fucking did it, man. What the fuck? First off, let me say this. I questioned your decisions today, Danny. I was worried that you didn't go to work today. I was worried after what you were wearing today. I don't think I've stressed so much about what another man's been wearing in my life until you today. And once I knew you were working from home or not going in at all, I was like, oh, my God. But look, you knew what was happening. You were showing the faith, and we won, and we're 9 points clear, and that's all that matters, man.
I have a special announcement to you and the other people that wanted me to go to work today. I knew exactly what I was doing, guys. I knew I would never jeopardize this team and a loss to Benfica. I would have went to work had I felt I needed to. But guys, I got this. But next few games are weekdays, and I don't think I can take any more days off. So the red shirt and red sweater will be coming back. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Let's get straight to some Twitter questions first. Let me pop them up. Starting with the first one from our guy Abdallah at Abdarmuti92. He says, "Fuck, I can't join today. Congratulations to all Portuguese." Shout out to Abdallah. Next comment comes from Anthony Menez at Anthony M_SCP. He asks, Palhinha comes in for João Mario at 60 minutes while Benfica were starting to get a hold of the game. I was thinking Bragança made more sense at the time, but it worked out in the end. Thoughts? Lisboa é verde e esta noite é Califórnia também. I'll pass that one off to Steph. Steph, what do you think, dude?
No, I think it was actually a good move by Amorim to put Palhinha, just because, like you said, Benfica was actually controlling the midfield at that time, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, João Mario was a little bit hurt, and that's when he made the change. João Mario in a very tough play, winning the ball twice. He got hurt. So I think it was impeccable from Mourinho to actually use the 5 substitutions that he is allowed to. So no, it was a good move by him.
Agreed. Next question comes in from Eric C at Sickback with 1 in the middle. He asks, I've been thinking this for the past month now, but surely today shows that we start Mateus over João Mario. As much as I love the guy, he's not offering enough to justify his starting position over Mateus or even Bragança, in my opinion. Chris, I'll give that one to you. What do you think of that? I think you're muted, dude.
Yeah, the thing about João Mario is like our guy Kaza the Paiva put it perfectly today in a tweet. It was something to paraphrase. It was something along the lines of like he's kind of an in between. Like he's not so dynamic offensively, and he's not like a gritty ball winning defensive guy. So it's like he's just kind of like an in betweener, you know, an in betweener with talent is how I would describe him. So Mateus, you know, offers a little bit more specifically offensively, I think. So, yeah, I can't say I disagree. I mean, he's been a guy that you've been kind of saying like his spot's been up for grabs for a while, but against I guess Mateus Nunes has emerged from the pack. And you know, the previous comment about like the game needing Bragança, like I agreed, and I was like, I was glad that he switched out João Mario because it wasn't really a game for João Mario. Worked out.
Facts. I also just want to mention a coincidence. It's not like he done a lot in the game or in the other games, but every time Bragança has come on, we've somehow snuck the game or won the game. So keep it up, Amuri. Like, yeah, man. Next question or comment comes from our boy Rui Alfredo Táctico da AG. He asks, no question yet. Just want you guys to show our love to our neighbors with the Domingo começou de fuder os lampiões e a noite a festejar a vitória dos leões. Next question comes from our boy Nikolai Salgado. He asks, Sporting gave me the best birthday gift. My question is it time to see Palhinha and Mateus Nunes together on the midfield for the next game? JM lacks the creativity and willingness to move the ball forward for Sporting. Same question as the last one, Bernardo. I'm going to give that one to you. What are your thoughts, dude?
Same thoughts as Christian and Kazapaiva. I know exactly what tweet he's talking about because I either commented on it or retweeted it. But both of them summarize it perfectly. I think João Mario in his current state isn't being as influential as we had hoped, nor has he been as influential as he once was when he played for Sporting. I wouldn't necessarily say it's time to bench him, but I think it might be time to start taking him off the pitch maybe even sooner if his performances don't get a little bit more consistently better. We do know that Mateus Nunes is right on his heels, looking for a spot in a position there. But it's just that weird in-betweener, like Christian said, you know, where does he exactly fit? And if he's going to be better at that position, then we're going to have to rearrange the starting 11 and accommodate for that. So it depends on how Ruben Amorim wants to play it, but I think he needs to be, if he isn't aware, he's going to start to be aware that he needs to put performances up. Otherwise, Mateus Nunes is probably going to take over his spot.
Yeah, that's a fact. Next question or next comment comes from.
Also, it's worth noting at the end of the day, João Mario is here on loan and Mateus Nunes is our player. So, I mean, he is like a Sporting guy, but at the end of the day, we have no allegiance. We don't have to activate the option to buy. You know, we're giving him an opportunity. We're doing him a favor, if anything. You know.
Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, I'm like back in kindergarten, raising my hand.
My bad. I was reading the Twitter, so I didn't see you guys. My bad.
No, I didn't want to interrupt Chris or Nando. I know what people are saying, but João Mario is a completely different player from Mateus Nunes and Palhinha. He's like un compás. He pauses the game when he needs to be paused. He holds the ball when he needs to be held. And that's why it's fundamental to Sporting and very important to Sporting. We need a player like that. We can't have players always in a short span and rushing all the time. He shows composure, and that's why Jean Marie starts, because he has that ability of pausing the game, slowing down the game when he has to be, a little bit slower. And that's why he plays. That's why he starts, and that's why Ruben Amorim likes João Mario. We cannot have for full 90 minutes Mateus Nunes and Palhinha because they don't have those kind of abilities like João Mario does. That's the difference between them. I love Mateus Nunes, don't get me wrong, and Palhinha. And one of these days, João Mario won't be able to play either because he's injured or the fifth yellow. And then we'll see a little bit better how it is with those two players for 90 minutes. But, João Mario brings something that the other two players don't bring, which is the composure. He knows how to hold the ball. He knows how to hold the game when he needs to be held. That's all I wanted to say.
No, I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you there. I was even saying, I forget who I was saying it to, but I was I actually think João Mario hasn't done too bad for us. He hasn't done bad enough that we don't look at him to purchase, but he hasn't done too good for us that I think we don't try to break the bank for him, if that makes sense. But I mean, that's something to worry about in the summer if we try to bring him back or not. But yeah, 100% agree with you there.
The only problem is the salary. I think he makes like $3 million or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and the other thing with João Mario is you can tell Inter kind of ruined his confidence going forward too, but like the first time he was at Sporting, it was never this bad, or not bad per se, but he was a lot more attack minded at least. Mind you, he was playing on the wing, but yeah. Next comment comes in from Richard Neves. He says Benfica had God on the bench and even he couldn't help them. Next question comes from Ulião de Estrela at Fogo de Leão. He asks, can Luis Felipe be an alternative option for the rest of the season, the third striker? Of course, we'll get into Paulinho in a little bit, but let me scroll this up or else the thing. But what are your thoughts on that, Chris? What do you think of Luis Felipe sort of being our third striker?
I mean, I guess he literally is, and if you asked me who our third striker was 2 weeks ago, I would have probably said probably Pedro Marques, but those guys have cleared out now, so there's really no one else. I guess he is just the third striker by default. Maybe he'll get some minutes with the B team or something, because I don't even think he's played any minutes with the B team at all. So I mean, the guy hasn't played a competitive game in 11 months, so I count on him for almost nothing. But yeah, I mean, if he develops into any sort of an option that could potentially be picked off the bench, maybe, then he's overperformed my expectations.
Yeah, facts. Next question comes in from Joel da Silva at Joel Leão. So boys, are we meeting up at Marquês in May or what? Listen, I'm trying to get my vaccine in order, bro.
Yeah, the vaccine to go. Because I'm going with that one. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how the laws are, bro.
Yeah, it depends on my.
100%. If that's what gives me my antibodies or not, or if I got to take a 14-day quarantine, or fuck it.
And then the next little thing, I'm hoping you guys see it here, is our boy Johnny with Ruben Amorim dance. Gotta love it. Things you love to see. I actually have a few more questions here that people put under my tweet, because I said I was getting lit tonight. I have yet to even take a shot. Let me cheers the audience and cheers you guys. Cheers. So first one comes from Tigas. Did you wear your red shirt or wear? So I didn't work today, so I didn't wear it. Next question comes from Lauren. She asks, how good was Mateus Nunes? Man of the match performance, deserved the goal. What a win. Sporting, top of the league. Steph, how good was Mateus Nunes?
Mateus Nunes was awesome. By far the best player on the pitch. He played phenomenal. MVP all the way.
That one time with the Techers,
Agreed.
I wish he just kept going, he just had one more guy. It's like you already beat 3, just keep going. So close.
And don't forget, what is he, 20 years old?
Yeah.
19, 20. I mean, wow. That's all I got to say.
Agreed. Next question comes from our boy James in Amsterdam at James_SCP. Should Mateus Nunes take JM's place? I think we've talked enough about that. Next question comes from Olival Lives Matter PDC out. That's crazy from a Porto fan. Sorry, let me just take that in. He says, Porto fan here, you think Daniel Bragança will get more minutes? Nando, I'll give that one to you, dude.
I think he'll get more minutes just by default. I think we can all agree that Sporting doesn't have the deepest of bench overall. But I think we'll see him get more minutes. I think how and when he gets minutes is going to be interesting. Is Ruben Amorim going to play him in close games? Like he came in, 5 minutes to go before the game ended? So that was a kind of a surprise. I wasn't sure what Ruben was trying to do.
I think Pedro was just so gassed that he
was gassed.
He was like couldn't even run anymore. Yeah.
But I think by default we're going to see him have more minutes. How and when those minutes come up is going to be very much dependent on how Sporting does going forward.
I agree. Next question comes from our boy David Claudio. Thoughts about Neto's performance? Abraço, amigos. Steph, I'll pass the one to you.
Performance of who?
Neto.
Oh, Neto. He was really great. The yellow card that Artur Soares showed him, he didn't even touch a player.
It looked so much worse than it was.
I know that if we could give an award of the best actor on the pitch, the Benfica player would have gotten that. Because that's what bothers me about the VAR. It's plays like that. They should be able to intervene and say, listen, that's a bullshit yellow card. Hopefully Sporting will appeal, because he didn't even touch the player. I mean, when you see the replay, it's like, what the fuck was that? I mean, why is he showing him a yellow card? But besides that, varreu tudo o homem. Foscas. Parecia que trabalhava para a Câmara de Lisboa das limpezas. Phenomenal performance by Net. He shows why he's a great leader, not only off the pitch but also on the pitch. If you saw the flash interview, he lost his voice because he was constantly giving instructions to the younger players to reposition themselves. I'm in love with the guy. I think he was a good acquisition. At the beginning, everyone was skeptical. But now I think he conquered most Sportingistas, like 99.9%. And he's pulling off an amazing season this year.
I agree. I 100% agree. Like you said, he was the Putinho Feio for a while, but not anymore, man.
He still has a sketchy moment every now and again where he falls down or something. Which he did have today, but overall, yeah, he was great.
But that Mateus Nunes did too. I mean, the pitch was wet, so it's not really the player's fault.
He had a great header at the end of the game in the 94th minute. That was a critical header.
No, it wasn't a great header at all because he didn't score.
No, I'm talking about the one that clear.
The Neto one at the end.
It was the 94th minute. No, he did miss the best chance of the first half.
My God.
Such an empty net, such a big goal. I mean, they need to make bigger goals for Sporting players.
So, the thing I'm saying is, why is there no coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence that Brian Ruiz and now Luis Neto missed on the exact same net.
Yeah, that guy in the championship for City. Remember?
Raheem Sterling in the Champions League too. Bro, burn that fucking net down already. I don't know what the hell that thing's still doing there, you know?
I don't think it's the same net. Do you think it's the same net?
I don't know, but it's the same side at least. And then, of course, the last thing was Johnny just dancing, or Paulinho, I should say, dancing over there. Guy busting down a move. All right, sweet. Let's go straight into this game, guys. Sporting, of course, beats Benfica 1-0 at home today. The 11 was as followed. That we had Adana, Luis Neto, Coach, Fidal in the back with Pedro Porro and Nuno Mendes on the wing back positions. We had Mateus Nunes and João Mario in the midfield with Tiago Tomás, Pedro Gonçalves, and Nuno Santos up top. Benfica had Vlaco Dimos in net with Jan Vertonghen, Jardel, and Nicolo Otamendi, with Grimaldo and Gilberto on the wing-back position, with Pizzi and Julian Weigl in the midfield. with Servi, Darwin, and Rafa up top. Of course, we had substitutions of João Palhinha, Daniel Bragança, Bruno Tabata, and Jovan Cabral. They had Nuno Tavares, Gabriel coming for Jardel, Tarat, and Seferovic coming into the game. Overall thoughts, guys, and also what are your thoughts on the whole Palhinha situation? Literally hours before kickoff, finally giving us the green light. Steph, I'll start this one off with you, dude.
Yeah. So actually, it's actually the course of action. It was kind of pretty fast because it went from CD com C disciplina. Then they reviewed it on Friday. They said no, the suspension will stay. Sporting re-appealed it. I think they announced in the middle of the week. They made the decision on Friday to say no, it'll stay. Sporting appealed it to the Tribunal Arbitral, TAD, and they were pretty fast. They were pretty fast making the decision, and which no one was expecting the decision to be made today. They thought the decision would be made by Tuesday or Wednesday after the game. So the juiz, the judge, did a pretty good lá do Sul. I think at the Tribunal do Sul, he did a pretty awesome job in analyzing all the, and it wasn't much. I mean, Sporting, every club that appeals for something, they need to come up with why they're appealing and the evidence. So they do all the legwork. So if you're a judge, you only have to see, ok, deixa eu ver então o que está aqui a passar. Está aqui o vídeo, porque que eles estão a dizer que não é amarelo? And it's a pretty quick decision making. And o Fábio Veríssimo, he did admit that he shouldn't have shown the yellow card when he saw the video from a different angle. When he saw two more players that could have stopped the player. So I think the decision being made today before the game, a few hours before the game, it was actually pretty good. It was pretty fast. Lesson learned, if I'm Ruben Amorim, I'm still going to prepare the team, including Palhinha, next time. You know, I'll have it.
Well, I mean, they have it now, Neto, right? Neto has it suspended, and it's a sketchy yellow. Do you think they'll get 2 for 2? I don't know.
Well, yes. The only thing against us is it's 4 days away against Maritimo on Friday. We play, but you know, I would hope so because the Neto game is a really bullshit yellow card. But you know, in a nutshell, that's how I feel. And actually, the decision making after going to one department to another department to another department, it was actually pretty fast for the Portuguese league.
Yeah, for the Portuguese, yeah.
For the Portuguese league, that was
the fact that it even got reversed in the first place is a miracle itself. Let me also just say,
like back in the days in the Second World War, they used to communicate via Morse code.
Morse code.
And then, you know, in the 90s, it was via fax. And this is via fax. It's a little bit faster.
But yeah, Steph, what were your thoughts on the game, dude?
Oh, yeah. So I'm not going to take too long about the game because the game itself, they both played with the same tactic. Amazingly, o treinador Deus, né? He decided to play with the same tactic as Sporting. Jorge Jesus he gave hints that he wanted to do it. So I guess they did it today.
It works, baby. The 3-5.
So
that's the best game Benfica's played in weeks, right? They didn't look like complete dog shit. So it works, baby. 3 at the back.
Exactly. So both teams, it was evenly. They were playing evenly the whole game. Sporting had a couple chances of goal, much better than Benfica. But at the same time, I saw Benfica at certain times of the game holding the ball and trying to create crosses inside the box, but nothing really dangerous. I mean, I agree with Lawrence. He put on the chat that did Aran have a save? I think he had a semi-save.
Yeah.
He had one in the beginning of the second half, but it was right at him. But yeah, he did have a save there.
It wasn't really
Dwarren, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like half of and another one from Rafa, an easy shot from inside the box. But besides that, I mean, the game was an ugly game to watch. It was not one of those games that you say, "Hey, let me get the popcorn because I'm enjoying this." It wasn't that exciting of a game. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have scored a few times through Tite, Tiago Tomás, Pedro Gonçalves. He could have scored. And then towards the end, hey, we scored, and that's all that matters. Like I was telling you guys offline, I thought it was going to be a tie, and I was okay with the tie. But then we won, and I'll take the win, of course. And that's how champions are made. It's winning tough games, even if it's a late goal. I don't care, but you gotta win these games. The only game that bothers me so far, it's not even so much the Rio Ave game. It's the Famalicão game, which I think that was taken away from us by the referee.
And the Porto 2-2 game too. The 1-1, whatever it was.
Yeah, the 2-2 game, we still could have missed a penalty if we had the penalty. But sure. That Famalicão game that we scored a clean goal, it still bothers me. But, you know, it just shows that Sporting is playing much better. We won against Porto. We tied against Porto. We won against Braga twice. We won against Benfica. Last year at this time, we had lost every single game against these three teams. This year we won Benfica, Porto, Braga. Portanto, o Borrego já matamos quantos Borregos? 5 ou 6. So I'm very excited for this season. Ruben Amorim is doing a phenomenal job, and now with Paulinho, Mateus Reis, and Pedro.
João Pereira.
João Pereira, obrigado. João Pereira coming to our team, it'll be even better. So the game was phenomenal. We won. Ugly game. If it was a tie, it wouldn't kill me. We won at the last minute. Ainda melhor. Que saboroso, meu.
I know. Tastes so good. Tastes so good.
Como uma Super Bowl.
Chris, I'll pass the next one to you, dude. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, like Steph said, I mean, I guess I wasn't like happy with the draw, I guess, but I had like come to terms with what it would have mean, because it would have basically meant like Benfica stays the same distance away, and then Porto gets within one game, and they're only 2 points back. So it's like us and Porto are now neck and neck, and it's like, okay, so like it's gut check now, you know. We're halfway through, and you got a slim lead on Porto, right? But now, I mean, it feels pretty comfortable. You know, we still got 2 games on Porto now, and Benfica's 3 games. Feels a lot more comfortable all of a sudden. So yeah, I mean, the thing about the game itself is like you're not gonna like look at that game and find like too many like. I guess you're not. No one's performance was like magical, right? It was just a bunch of like gritty fucking performances by everyone. Like pretty much everyone on that front line, like who played at any point. Nuno Santos, Gonçalves, Tomás, Bragança, Tabata, Jovan, like all those guys put in. I thought like pretty good fucking shifts, just grinding away. And you know, like it was that type of game, you know, few chances, physical, and like it's a game of just you got to take make the most of the few moments that you get. And despite I thought Sporting being pretty dominant throughout the whole game, it's not like we were just like carving out chance after chance. It was still equally divided. And while I did feel like I never really thought Benfica was going to score, but it was always just something in the back of my mind, because I mean they did. When they did counter a couple times, it obviously looked somewhat threatening, right? So it's like it wasn't out of the realm of possibility to get hit on the break if we just never scored. But yeah, for the most part, it was, you know, surprisingly comfortable derby game. for us. And obviously Benfica, like I guess they weren't missing too many players, but they were missing a couple, and they're missing their coach, obviously. But yeah, I and in regards to the Palhinha situation, I couldn't even believe that he played. Like, are we going to now enter a saga where the news cycle now is going to be they're going to try to get the game like scrubbed because he's like they're going to say that he shouldn't have been playing or something, and because he entered the game, it should just be void.
Mm-hmm. That's my word.
Yeah, and the like I kind of when I saw he wasn't starting, I kind of hope that he just didn't play just so that we could avoid that. And I mean, at the point of subbing him in, it's like, why wouldn't you just start him at that point? Because they're gonna say the same thing no matter what if he steps on the field at all. So yeah, if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be shocked. Because they love like grasping at straws like that. But awesome. I can't believe it, dude.
Facts. Nando, last but not least, what were your thoughts, dude?
Man, you guys are doing a great job summarizing pretty much every single thought and idea that I had about the game. I'll start with Palhinha. I'm not concerned per se that they're gonna go ahead and enter a saga like Christian just said, but I am concerned that it's just going to be one more thing to draw attention away from the team and the players, and one more thing for Sporting and Ruben Amorim to have to answer to and have to deal with, right? And I don't know if you guys seen on record, apparently the judge who I guess granted that suspension or of the trial or that whatever decision is a big Sporting fan, right? With his Instagram post or his Facebook post, the cat with the Sporting scarf and some shit back in 2016. So like, of course that's gonna come up. Of course that's gonna be a thing. I don't give a fuck. They can suck it. We won, and Palhinha, I wish had scored. He almost did, but I wish he had scored just to add insult to injury. With that being said, the team itself, it was another team win. It was another, here is Sporting figuring out a way to win. And now we're what? A game away. Wait, a game away from the second Volta, right?
No, we already guaranteed first place for the second Volta.
That's what I'm saying. But like, is the next game, I guess, what do you do? That's the last game of
That's
the year.
the last game.
One game away from starting the Segunda Volta. Sporting's 4 points up going into that game. Porto won. Porto took care of business, and Sporting's playing Benfica. And like Christian said, the tie to me, unlike you guys, it was really aggravating me. I thought that was going to be another fuck, man. Sporting just doesn't have that little extra oomph, that little extra something. I was texting my dad and I was complaining about the lack of strikers on the team, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk about. But Sporting all year has been doing this. It's players scoring that normally wouldn't be scoring. It's team winning in ways that it hasn't won before. There's not one single player that teams have to necessarily focus on. And Ruben Amorim is slowly but surely having this team, if not already, on the path of just completely believing in itself for the group, and everybody that's on the bench or starting plays with the same intensity and the same belief. That's what's beautiful about this win. It was a scrappy win. It was a win in extra time. It was a win when we would probably all sit here going like, well, I guess it's not going to happen today, folks. Matter of fact, maybe it's because I'm old, but I remember when Sporting was playing Benfica and Alvalade with a chance to win the league when we ended our drought, and Sabri scored on a free kick to fuck us. So I'm sitting here thinking like not quite the same importance, but watch Benfica creep in and get a bullshit goal to fuck us up, right? But that didn't happen. Sporting won. Sporting
I know. I was feeling the same way, Nando. You read my mind. I was like, caralho, pá, vamos mamar filho da puta.
I know.
We got the fucking game.
And I don't know. I was like 9 years old.
The same thing with the game in 15-16 at the Luge or at Alvalade. That fucking shot that like deflected, then William fell over. Like that was fucking bullshit too.
Yeah. So we
dominated that game.
We dominated that game. Yeah.
We all have experience one way or another with that shit, right? And it didn't happen this time. It fell our way, right? So we took care of business. At the end of the day, we held serve, as they say. We won at home. so far against the big guys, we're not really losing points. Tied against Porto at home. Haven't played them away yet. Benfica, we have to play them away yet. But also, Neto. Like I've talked bad about Neto. He was very, very stable. I liked just his attitude, that presence, that maturity. That's just a team win, man. That's just a solid team win. Yeah. We could talk about transfers in a moment, but I'm gonna enjoy this as a one for all for one. Let's get that dub, boys. Like that's all it was. It was just a solid team damn win.
Yeah. I'm gonna just quickly give my thoughts too, because it's in the same vein. I just wanted to quickly give a special mention to Nuno Mendes, who I thought was phenomenal this game. I know Mateus Nunes got the man of the match, and he also played really well. But I think Nuno Mendes is our man of the match for sure. He had that first half. He had Gilberto on I don't think he lost a single duel against him, and I think overall in the game he might have lost one or two. So that was an impeccable performance from an 18-year-old. I feel like we always come on here and big him up because he's just that amazing, and for his age, like that's incredible from him. And I also want to give a special mention to Tiago Tomás.
Also must be noted, Grimaldo, who was one of the other great left backs of the league.
Yeah.
Stinker today and got subbed off. Fucking stinker.
Facts.
Continue.
Facts. I was gonna say that too. The battle between Pedro Porro and Grimaldo today was an interesting one from the get-go. But I think Pedro Porro obviously comes out on top from that one. Like you said, I think Grimaldo had a stinker today. Tiago Tomás, like I was saying, I feel like I come on here every podcast and say the same thing over and over again. But the kid always gets beat up every single fucking game. And the refs just let it be. And to me, the moment of the match and the moment that because I also shared the same worries that Nando did and Steph, because especially when we missed that open net from Neto in the 30th minute, no marca soft, and that's like Sporting to a T, because whenever we miss an opportunity to score, like we get a goal, we suffer a goal right away. So I felt it coming, but when I seen Tiago Tomás,
que no marca, dot. My dad read it and didn't even respond back. He's probably thinking,
I know, bro. I said the same thing to my dad too, and my dad the whole game was like, "No, nós vamos perder isto." But when Tiago Tomás went up to Otamendi with no fear, bro, he actually made me fucking believe. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we're gonna get a result here. But I was thinking more on that time, at least I was thinking more the result would give you a draw. But overall, man, like even if we ended up losing this game, I think I would have still been proud of the team's performance, because like against all the other big teams, you can say against Porto, especially in the Taça da Liga, we didn't play well against them, and we sort of stole the result. You can say similar to the Taça da Liga final with Braga, seeing as the second half we were really against it. But against Benfica, there was no doubt we deserved to win this game. There was no doubt at all. We dominated. So it would have been heartbreaking had we lost something, but it would have been encouraging nonetheless, seeing that performance. And yeah, I don't know. There's not really much else to talk about. If you guys have any moments in your head that you wanna go.
There wasn't really any controversy, I don't think.
There wasn't, except for, again, I repeat, Gilberto should have seen at least 4 yellows, I think.
There was the one foul where he kicked Pedro Gonçalves, and it was a foul on Pedro Gonçalves.
And I even heard it on the TV. Pot is to the ref. He's like, "Eu é que ganho a bola e a falta é comigo, caralho." Something around those lines.
It went to Carnival. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I mean, Artur Soares Dias, it's a tough game to be a referee when it's a derby. I think he did okay, and for the first time that I can recall, Benfica actually got more yellows than we did.
I know.
So
crazy.
I was kind of amazed, and I'm like, well, maybe corruption is really out the window. I don't know. Because the VAR, since it came to be, it's been kind of more difficult for Benfica to win games now with the shady calls.
How did Paulinho do it?
It's a fact. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
saying,
that is a fact. I agree.
Yep. So anyway,
Yeah. If that's it, then we'll get straight. All right. Let me just ask if your guys' man of the match. I already said mine was Nuno Minge, but what do you guys think? Mando, I'll start with you.
Not an individual to me, man. This is a pure team victory for me. Literally, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like Sporting won this as a team. They deserved it as a team, and I'm glad it happened in a derby like this as a team. To me, everybody had an important part in that game. That camaraderie is contagious. That spirit is contagious. That shit's fucking lovely to watch, and we can go places. Last time we lost the title race, we were 7 points up. Now we're 9 points up on Benfica. Mind you, Porto is 4 points back. But that team win, point blank, point period.
Fair. How about you, Steph?
to me, this one I'll give it to Ruben Amorim, the way he prepared the team. Last time against Maritim, we kind of all agreed that it was his fault that we lost the match for the Taça Portugal. Well, this time he did prepare the team real well. Without Palhinha, even though Paulinho played in the second half, he admitted that he did not. He was not counting on Paulinho, but all Ruben Amorim and like Nenu said, the team as well. Extremely great performance by the whole team. At any time I thought Benfica was going to win the game at all, I didn't have that feeling. I just had the feeling that they're going to score a shitty goal. The três tabelas or caralho, a rebound off somebody. That's what I thought they would do because they're always lucky like that. But, Estrellinha that started this year is with us. We have everything going our way. We got 3 great acquisitions just today. And we're not in the Taça Portugal, which it's kind of sad, but at the same time, we're not playing additional 3 games. I think the semifinals still 2 games, or is it 1 game this year? I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I think it's
Usually-
2.
It's still 2?
I'm assuming it's unchanged. Yeah.
Okay. So then, it could have been potentially 3 more games, and then we're not in the Liga Europa, a few more games. So we'll be fully rested. So we should have no excuse not to pull a great performance in the second round of the Liga NOS and still be in the title race and still be the leaders. So we have everything going our way. Because I think Porto just lost a key player recently. Was it today? On today's game?
I'm not sure. I didn't watch.
Otavio. I mean, and the more games you play, the more players you could lose.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Christian, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be easy, or a shorter list for me to name like performances that I didn't like today than I did, because I liked a lot of them. Kawats definitely, Kawats, Neto, Porto. I mean, I didn't really like Fidel's probably one of the guys that I thought had one of like the worser games out there, but I guess I'll give it to Mateus Nunes. Got the start, got the goal, unlikely hero.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. Viva Sporting on that one. I have to say that again. Let's go into the transfers. I'll start with the transfer outs, and we'll go into Worldwide Scouting's comment here. Thoughts on João Silva's transfer? Sort of came as a surprise. At first I only heard like he was loaned out to the last place team in Croatia.
What a weird.
Yeah. Then discovered that he was actually sold to Alaves. I'm not sure if you guys heard of any price tag there. It might have just been a free, to be honest. And then loaned out to Croatia. Your overall thoughts? I kind of like João Silva. I thought he was maybe next in line after Ignacio and Quaresma.
He's been one of the guys that's kind of been on the fringes of like when they call a bunch of guys from like the B or U23, like he's in the group. So yeah, it is surprising, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's captain of the B team too, right?
Well, he was.
Or he was, yes. Yeah.
I'm upset too. I agree with you guys, and Worldwide Scouting just brought it up, and I'm upset. But not so much about Ilori. That's good news.
That was the next one.
He'll be back in 5 months, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Thank
Why do you have to Why do you have to ruin the party like that?
Hey, you're such a Debbie Downer.
I hope they stay up so that there's at least a 1% chance they might activate the clause.
Listen, he came to Lorient and they beat PSG 3-2. I'm not saying I don't think anything happens for coincidences. You know, like I think Lorient might keep him.
Yeah.
Nando, what were your thoughts on Ilari leaving, bro?
Fuck, get rid of that dude, bro. I've been so fucking tired of watching.
I kind of wish he came to hang out with me in New Jersey, but
Yeah.
When he turned down coming to the States, I was like, fuck this guy. Like, go somewhere already. The fact that he came back a second time, I was like, you can't be serious. We can't keep doing this shit with the Agloti. So good. I'm glad he's gone. He's been pretty fucking useless.
Another one that's out, I just threw on the tweet that we just put up, was Ristovski going to Dinamo Zagreb. I believe it's a 1 million euro buy, right?
Yep.
You know, my next shot goes out to Ristovski. It's been real, bro. I've been your supporter. I'm still your supporter. And when the Euros come around and Macedonia looks like shit, but you're like the top player, believe me, I will be tweeting about how great you are.
Wait,
I don't know if you guys have any.
They're going to the Euro, right? They're going to the Euro.
They are going to the Euros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got in. Yeah.
Yeah, they got in.
Fan
So
for life.
he's gonna kill it. I think at least.
Happy trails, Risto.
Steph, you have any thoughts on Ristovski leaving though?
I mean, you know, he made his bed, so then he had to lay on it. I mean, I liked him too. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain things that you, as a professional player, you have to control. You can be vocal in a respectful way. Him being on the bench and saying Braga when he's a Sporting player, that's not a good thing. You could have a disagreement with your coach behind closed doors, offline. It happens all the time in our day-to-day basis with your boss, a co-worker, with us. Even when we have disagreements, what do? We send each other a personal DM, or we call each other, and then we get it solved. So I think he crossed the line. And he didn't have any leverage or any wiggle room. And it was good for him to be sold. It was good for Sporting as well, because I think he was making 2 million a year, which clean was 1 million, and then was impostos 1 million para Portugal. So it was good for everybody. Best of luck to him, and hopefully he learned with his mistakes that he can be embarrassing a coach in front of his teammates. That's a big no-no. And Rune Amorim, he is the way he is, and I like it. That's how you control your team. That's why you have a good pulse on your team. When you see that, hey, this guy is not giving me 100% in practices, I'm gonna demote him to the B team. That's why we have a goddamn B team. We have a B team. You could go down or you could go up. And in this case, it happened to Quaresma. It happened to Plata. So it's not every stuff thing. It's an attitude thing. If your coach is telling you, this is the way I'm expecting you to be at practice and on the pitch, you have to listen to me. This is my way or the highway. Then, you know, it's on Ritovski. That's his fault. What happened was totally his fault, and it's not because we're in first place and we're doing great. Because I've seen Platis on the B team now. Quaresma was, and he came back. So, é assim a vida, meu. Porta-te bem e mais nada.
Yeah, no, tens razão. Next out, it's the two Pedros. We'll start with Pedro Mendes, of course. Comes back from Almeria, and then now is loaned out to Nacional. Nando, any thoughts on this one?
I was muted. I wish I don't know. Like Christian said earlier, he thought he was going to be our third option. I can't imagine he's right now any worse than like Luis Felipe or, you know, that far off from Tiago Tomás. I think it's a combination of what Steph just said. You know, if the player doesn't seem to fit Ruben Amorim's attitude group, you know, what he's looking for in terms of people's attitude for the team, then I think they just don't fit. And I think he might have an attitude problem, hence why he hasn't had opportunities to play where he was just loaned out to. When players get sent to other teams and still remain on the bench and don't do anything, Luis Medeiros before, you know, going to Braga, and all these other players that we've had experience with, they're usually a good sign that it's an attitude problem. It's an issue with the way that they think they might be better than other players or not wanting to be part of the team, and that's why they sit on the bench. So I'm not mad about it necessarily.
Same. In a similar vein, I mean, a different type of player, but sort of in a similar situation, also named Pedro. Chris, what were your thoughts on Pedro Marques going to Gil Vicente? You're muted.
Over time, it's like funny to watch the trajectory of these two because honestly, it always seemed like Pedro Mendes had more raw talent, but and more of like a, you know, the physique to be, you know, a striker for real. But it seems like now it's like I would probably say Pedro Marques would have the brighter future, and whatever Marques has gone, he's hit goals, whether it be in these bumfuck leagues in like random like lower leagues in like the Netherlands or at the Sporting B team or wherever it may be, he always hits goals. The same cannot be said about Mendes. He rarely ever hits goals. I mean, I guess he scored a couple for the U23s last season, but that was about it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see, one, if either of these two get significant minutes of any sort, and two, if they can do anything with those minutes. So yeah, will be interesting to track these two. But I would, if I had to make a prediction right now, it seems like these two don't really have much of a future at Sporting, it would appear, unless they start popping off, which, based on, you know, how things have gone so far, seems unlikely.
Yeah, facts. I agree. Last one is Rafael Camacho going to Rio Ave. Sort of a shock on that one. I mean, I don't know if anybody has really anything to say about that one. I think we all wished him the best of luck, and hopefully he can, you know, do something for Rio Ave so that he has some sort of resale value when he comes back. I mean, I don't think there's much else to say but that. He also joins a bunch of other Sportingistas at Rio Ave, so Rio Ave seems to be our Sporting B. The only other thing I wanted to mention before going in with the ins, and we have a few exciting ins. I mean, one really exciting in is that I hate the fact that Varandas is making a habit of doing a lot of last minute deals. Literally, you know, Pedro Mendes, Pedro Marques. I mean, what took them so long to establish a loan deal? Like, that's a wasted month in my eyes, you know, of them not playing for Nacional and Gil Vicente, or Rafael Camacho. Maybe the free kick really enticed Rio Ave, so I won't blame them there. But I'm not a fan with all the last minute sales and buys. You know, it's sort of reminiscent to what happened last year in the summer.
I think it was
that's
more.
My gripe.
Yeah, I think it was more because like Pedro Mendes was in Spain, so Sporting to get him. Sporting didn't have to get him. That's something people have to understand. He was loaned to, what was the name of the Spanish team?
Almeria.
So Sporting didn't have to get him back. Sporting could have said to Almeria, "Hey, the deal was until June, so you stuck with him until June." But they said, "Okay, you know what? We'll get him back just because." And that's when the manager of the player plays a big role. Let's find a club for him before he comes back, and then we okay to loaning him again. And that's what happened to Pedro Mendes. They said, "Oh, Nacional is interested. Okay, so that's fine. We'll take him back and loan him right again." Because let's keep in mind, when we get these players back, it means we have to pay their salary again. So why would Sporting get him back if they made a deal with Almeria? So that's specifically for Pedro Mendes. Pedro Marques was a good loan because he will evolve more as Gil Vicente, because Gil Vicente is in the first league. So it'll be a much better competitive league for him, and I think he'll do great. And then Camacho, last but not least, also the same thing. I think Camacho, he was regaining his confidence in the B team, but the B team joga no Campeonato de Portugal. Big difference than playing in the Portuguese first league. So him going to Rio Ave and being with familiar faces, I think he'll do great. And like Chris said, hopefully his value will go up, and then we'll be able to sell him again.
Yeah, agreed.
He's not Sporting material. He's not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Or if he is, he has still a lot to prove that he is.
Oh, for this.
Muito. Yeah, that's true too. That is true too. So we'll go in with the big in that also includes with 2 outs. Of course, that is Paulinho coming in for a total of 16 million, but it's 13 million cash. Borja's valuation going, of course, Borja going to Braga. He's valuated at 3 million euros. And then Sporar also following up in Braga on a loan deal for the end of the season. Nando, I'll start with you. What are your initial thoughts on the Paulinho deal? Are you excited for Paulinho? I can already see you shaking your head. What's your thoughts, bro?
I'm glad. I fucking hate the deal so much. I'm glad he came to Sporting because we need a solid striker, and he looks like he's going to be better than Sporar. But it's like how much better than Sporar for 16 fucking million euros for what was it, 60%, 70% of the pass?
I think 70. Yeah.
70.
So we don't even own this dude fully.
No.
We're back to giving Braga and being Braga's bitch financially. And we give them Borja, and they can buy Sporar for 7.5 million. So I would love to hear, like, please, guys, comment in the section below. Let us know on Twitter. Is Sporar that much more inferior than fucking Paulinho?
Yes.
Because if he's at like that much, that ridiculous amount of money, Sporar 7.5 million, of Paulinho roughly what, 20 million worth? So like financially, it doesn't fucking make sense, especially when Bas Dos was sold because it was too expensive. Especially when Varanda said that Sporting couldn't commit to crazy financial decisions anymore. So this is an all-in on Varandas, and I think I mentioned this, and we talked about this briefly in a podcast, the last one I was in, that it's an all-in on Ruben Amorim and an all-in on getting Ruben Amorim, his boy. For fuck's sake, he better hope that this shit works out because Paulinho's what, 28?
28.
Yeah.
He's signing a 5-year. He's not going anywhere. He's signing
I know. I can't wait to see him.
He's going to retire as a Sporting player.
Flourishing into the next superstar of the Portuguese national team.
Like, if you read the whole thing, there's another curveball on the deal,
which is the empréstimo Sporar until the end of the year.
No,
right? No,
yeah, you already mentioned that. If somebody wants to buy Paulinho for 25 million, we'll have to sell him, or we'll have to pay a penalty of 20%, something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Who's gonna offer 25 million and
Wolves
say no to?
Exactly. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly, but still, I mean,
yeah, it's Wolves. It's Wolves or bust, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wolves. It's like Benfica say.
Let's really hope.
The Wolves is George Menzies, bro. That's their A squad.
I mean, he took a season off
for his sake and for our sake that it all comes to fruition, bro. Because if it doesn't,
it has to. There's no other option.
There's no other option. And thankfully for him, this is the one time where I'll say I'm happy that we don't have fans in the stadium, because if he started throwing up some fucking goose eggs, like, he'd be the fuck booed out of Alvalade.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, if he's throwing goose eggs, he might be booed out of Avalad when fans do come back. Let's be real. Knowing our fans. Steph, what are your thoughts on the Paulinho deal, though?
Well, I'm a fan of Paulinho. I like Paulinho. I don't think he is a phenomenal player. If you look at all the seasons he has put together with Sporting Club de Braga, he's and the national team. He just begun his a new adventure.
Yeah,
I think he's a great player. The deal is shitty. I think we look desperate. and I know why we're doing this. We're giving Ruben Amorim all the weapons we can give him. If you listen to Ruben Amorim on the Flash interview today, he was saying that we paid for what we paid for Paulinho, João Pereira, and Mateus Reis. He included the 3 players together. That's what our rivals paid for 1 player. So if you look at it in that point of view, it's kind of a good deal. But at the same time, when we just pinpoint only Paulinho, it's an extremely bad deal. It is a bad deal. I mean, we gave a lot to Sporting Clube Braga for Paulinho.
Here's the thing: we'll forget though if he starts banging him in.
Yeah, of course.
We forgot that we only have 50% of Pedro Gonçalves when he started banging him in. If he starts banging him in, we'll forget how shitty the deal is. But the deal is shitty as fuck. Is the reality.
Yeah, the deal itself as of today is a shitty deal. But I gotta say, I'm a fan of Paulinho. I'm excited he plays for Sporting Clube Portugal, and I'm expecting great things from him. I'm expecting great things from him because Sporting was off. He couldn't score even with an open net.
But
I mean,
guys, there's one thing too, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Steph, but I'm sure one of us will touch up on this. We had a lack of solutions, so we're trading. So let's say Paulinho, we all agree is better than Sporting, but we still need solutions in the bench because before we still only had 2. We still only had Sporting and Tiago Tomás, so now we still only have Paulinho and Tiago Tomás. Fucking
that's the
on
top of the financial issue.
But that was Salvador being smart, saying, "Listen, I'm giving you my punta de lança. Now I want your punta de lança."
Yeah. And he was smart enough to not say.
And be like, yes, I like that. Quero mais. Thank you so much.
He didn't want Camacho or Elordi or Rodrigo Fernandes. He's not a fucking idiot.
Like, I can't imagine how Varandas fucking negotiates. Like, Salvador's like, you're going to be my bitch. And Varandas like, claro, meu amigo. No problema. However
Varandas didn't even talk to him. It was Hugo Viana.
But it is crazy we're getting Braga like 30 million.
I was going to say that.
Over like a 1.5-year time frame, which is.
But check this shit out. If we do become champions, I mean, I'll tell you what. If we
Champions League money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even if we finish in second place, we still get all, what is it, $50 million right away? And then all the money that goes with it, each
win. We're going to the semis, so that's like 12 more wins. It's like $1 million each win.
I know it's a lot of money. Now. It's a lot of money.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's an like we say in poker, all in.
It is an all in, and it's funny. It's an all in from a president who said he doesn't do all ins. This is a second all in, but okay. So far, his first all in.
The first one kind of worked.
It's been perfect. So I'm not gonna. I like Paulinho as well. I think he's more than just a goal scoring striker as well. So I think he'll bring us a lot in terms of that. But I need to also emphasize this again. If he gets injured, we're then stuck with Tiago Tomás again, and it's just Tiago Tomás, and that's my only worry about this. Was Salvador smart for this? 100%, 100%. He needed a striker, and on the last day of the market, it's going to be tough for him to find a striker. So I understand why he goes for Sporting, and I think it's even a good deal if he does go for Sporting. Hopefully they don't buy him, so that next season we have Sporting, Paulinho, and Tiago Tomás. We'll see. That's my only worry in terms of the move, and if, like we've all said, I think the deal is shit. But I mean, I think Paulinho will be that guy for us. I hope, at least.
We got Luis Felipe, caralho.
Espetáculo.
Are you trying to convince me or scare me?
Shot it out for a couple of headers and shit.
Okay.
Another incoming transfer move. I mean, also Borja leaving. We talked a bit about Sporting. Do you think Borja is going to be a big loss? I kind of like Borja. He hasn't really done that bad for us, but yeah, I agree.
No.
He was good. That's about it.
Yeah. He missed a lot. We lost games because of him because he sucked as a center back, and he would have been better off telling Ruben Amorim, "Nah, don't put me a center back because I'm gonna fuck it up like he did."
Yeah, fair enough. I agree. It's not that bad of a loss to me.
No,
could have lost somebody a lot worse.
No. No.
The next incoming deal, kind of controversial. I personally like it. I want your guys' opinion on it. João Pereira. Christian, I'm going to start off with you first because I think Varandas is watching your tweets and actually listens to you. But what are your thoughts on João Pereira coming in, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that we brought him in. I mean, no, for no more reason that I think he still has something to give, and I've always liked João Pereira. Like growing up, I always played outside back, and I'm kind of small, so like feisty outside backs were like the guys that I loved. So I mean, Quintrão and João Pereira were some of my favorite players. Growing up, João Pereira might literally be shorter than I am. Like I think he's like 5'4", so he is a short goat.
Wow.
Yeah, he's tiny, dude. 5'4" or 5'5". He is very small. But yeah, he's a short goat, and so I'll always go to bat for João Pereira. I can't say that I follow the Turkish league like that closely, but at the same time, I can't say that I also don't not follow it, because I do watch BN Sports a lot when they have the Turkish league, and I have a buddy who supports Fener, so like I do kind of pay attention. So I mean, last season, João Pereira actually had a pretty good year for Trabzonspor, and I mean that's a good team. They play in Europe almost every season, and he had like 8 assists last year. He played almost every game, and in this season, I think they've been kind of worse, and he fell out of favor. I don't know if they had a new manager or something. So despite being a bit old, he could definitely still play for 6 months. And to be honest, like I think he could even do like maybe like another season in like MLS or some shit if he really wanted to keep playing. But I think he's supposed to stay like in the coaching staff.
Yeah, that's what I think at least.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. So I mean, I'm happy João Pereira is back. And he deserved it in 15-16. So if we can get him a winner's medal, I think he earned it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't know if you guys also want to chime in on João Pereira, Steph, Fernando.
No, I agree. João Pereira actually he comes with along those lines of Neto mentality, Coates, Fedal.
He's the right-sided Antunes. That's a great comment. Those are my boys right there.
Exactly. He comes with a lot of experience, and if Porro for some reason can play, I'm totally comfortable with João Pereira because he knows what's up. He's played in many great teams in great top leagues. And he's going to bring a good atmosphere, a good balneario, leadership. I'm actually, and he played for Sporting twice before. This is the third time
Exactly.
he's coming back. So, eu não vou dizer mal de João Pereira porque eu gosto dele. And what he did at Sporting, jogador cheio de raça and all the time. And we know he's Porro's replacement, and he's accepting that role. So he's not going to go there to create problems. He's going to be there to be a fill-in case he needs to back up Porro. And that's awesome, man. When you know your role from the get-go and you accept it, that's even better.
Yeah,
1,000%.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I agree with everybody there on João Pereira. Really can't complain one bit about it. And Ruben Amorim already had made a comment regarding it after today's game that said everything. He says it's about getting a player with strong character who knows the club. That's not really a risk. Getting guys that have the same spirit and same group mentality. Big heart, very, very ranhoso, feisty. And that's all it is. He nailed it right there with those words. We all nailed it and how we described the guy. And Steph made the best point right there. He knows his role. He knows he's not going to be a starter. We don't need him to be a starter. We just need him to fucking play the cheerleader, if you will, on the bench, give these guys the spirit of belief and that we can win this shit because he has done that before. And then if he needs to come in for 10, 15 minutes here or there or fill in a shoe on an injury or suspension, no problems. He won't be that fall off, big of a fall off from Porto. Great pickup, I think, for half a season at least.
Yep.
Agreed. And then last one that's finally confirmed. I mean, we've been talking about it, I feel like, since September. Matheus Reis actually does join. An outside back who can also play center back. I think it's a good move. It's more in terms of depth. My only concern is he hasn't played for about 6 months. So we'll see in what sort of condition he comes back in. But I personally, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, it's to me, it's a direct like Borja replacement in terms of coming off the bench for Fadal or for either playing the center back of a 3 or maybe even playing the left back. Though I mean, we have Antunes and we have we have Antunes and Nuno Mendes. So Mateus Reis might be just another body there. So yeah, that's unless anybody has anything else about Mateus Reis.
No, Mateus Reis actually was a good pickup. Cheap, and it's actually very important to get him now, to get him ready for next season. So at least now he'll be getting used to the club, this and that. And I still think he will play a few games before the end of the season anyway. But he will be able to regain rhythm, to get to know the club, to get to know his teammates. So no, it was a good pickup.
I agree.
Very talented.
And a long time coming too. Before we move on to modalidades and a preview of next week's game. Sorry, I'm just smiling at your cat there, Nando. So cute. I just wanted to do it's like a Howard Stern thing, a post-mortem, I think he calls it, of our little interview with Bruno de Carvalho. I want to go first off, Steph and Nando. We definitely missed you guys. Definitely wished you were here with us. I don't know if Steph, you want to start off? If you had any thoughts about it, what were your thoughts, dude?
Nah, I mean it was an emotional day for all of us. I know how hard you, Chris, and Nando, myself, and Sam prepared that show. It was months of preparation, all the questions, the upgrading of StreamYard. The fans, I'm pretty sure they've seen it. We have our own logo, background, own music. So you guys know everything comes out of our pocket. No one is helping us with anything, but we do it for the love of the club. And we did all this because of the importance of Bruno Carvalho. And I wanted, say obrigado Bruno Carvalho e Alexandre Godinho, because they have such a busy schedule, and them coming to our show and giving us a boost of 2,600 something and counting views, and our Sporting160EN podcast. Everybody knows us now in Portugal, that we exist. The numbers of viewers in YouTube, subscribers just went up crazy. We're close to 500. The followers on Twitter, we're close to 3,000. We should have been at 6,000 actually, if it wasn't for Sport TV.
Fucking bastards.
Yeah. But you guys did a great job. Great composure by you, Chris and Sam. Bruno Carvalho explaining himself. He's phenomenal. A inteligência do chaval, meu. Eu passei, because he gave us feedback that we didn't even know about the UEFA Michel Platini and Blatter and Fernando Gomes. I mean, and we were privileged enough to be the first ones to know about that, and telling us live in our small little podcast that we do for fun, out of love. And then Alexandre Godinho, what a gentleman, what a smart lawyer. And I agree. I think it was Sam or Chris that said it. We should do a podcast with just Alexandre Godinho one day. I think we'll benefit from that. We'll just have to be a bit more specific with the questions, more into the law aspect of it, because that's his forte. But yeah, I watched the whole show and I rewatched it, I think 3 times, because you always miss something, and it's better to listen to it when you're driving because you pay attention more to it. So my commute is 45 minutes. So it took me, I think, 3 days to listen to the whole podcast again, because I saw it live. But when I heard it again, I'm like, damn, I didn't hear that, the first day, because I was so excited and putting comments, and I was missing some good portions of what Bruno Carvalho was saying. And it just made me realize that how much I like the guy and how much that Varane is fucking up by not giving him the title de sócio back, like he promised anyway. It's on a video. It's recorded on a video que ele disse que o Bruno Carvalho nunca eu vou tirar de sócio de Sporting. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's on video. And it pops up once in a while on Twitter and Facebook so to remind people. I'm not saying he would win the next elections in 2022. I think that's when we up for elections. But he would have a fair shot. He would have a fair shot. Gostei, adorei. I fell in love with the guy again. E com o Alexandre Godinho também. And I think Sporting, o Varandas, a administração de Varandas, they're not doing the proper thing, the justice that they deserve. They're only asking to be such as the Sporting. That's all they're asking for. Which cash ball was bullshit. To me, the mastermind behind cash ball, I hate to say it, mas para mim foi o Luís Filipe Vieira. He's the one who cooked that shit up, and he did a really good job with cash ball. When they talk about Caso Cardinal to the Benfiquistas and Portistas, the only thing I have to say is that guy that was involved in Caso Cardinal is out of Sporting, has been out of Sporting for years. Mas o Luís Filipe Vieira, que é corrupto, que não haja dúvida nisso, esse filho da puta é corrupto, e o Pinto da Costa, que é corrupto, e de que maneira, they're still there. They still applaud them. They still re-elect them. So that says a lot about Benfiquistas and Portistas. It says that they love winning by cheating. They love that. They love winning by cheating. Love it. Us Portuguese, we're different. Why? Because when we know a dirigente como Cristóvão, o caso Cardinal, was involved maybe in a scheme like that, he was kicked out of the club. He was kicked out. That's a big difference. And that's why I'm proud to be a Sportingista. Because we don't like corruption. Did corruption happen in our club? Most likely, yes. But we don't keep those folks in our club. But Benfiquistas and Portistas estão sempre a aplaudi-los e a botá-los para trás. So, there it is, bro. Para mim, Benfiquistas assim, Portistas assim, they're not real, real fans. That's all I got to say.
I'm just going to piggyback a little bit off of what Steph said. It was a very emotional podcast for obvious reasons. To me, it reminded me of how much he brought back the passion of what is Spartan and how he, reignited, the sleeping lion, if you will, in all of us. The belief that we can do it, the belief that no matter how bad Sporting situation was or can get, if we all pull together, we can come out of that hole. The dude commands an audience like nobody other, at least in the Sporting realm or soccer realm in general, or even in sports period. I mean, he's a great public speaker. He knows how to tell a story. Very intelligent how he delivers his stories. Knows exactly how to articulate what happened. Sharing with us in detail, with the Platini, the VAR, and so forth and so on. On the lighter note, I absolutely love his hatred for Jorge Jesus. That shit's fucking perfect. He made no chills whatsoever. I mean, the dude can't stand him, and rightfully so. And he's a Sportingista. He's a Sportingista through and through. He suffers for Sporting. He wants Sporting to win, and he's always going to be that way. I believe him when he says that he doesn't hold any grudges other than Jorge Jesus. I believe him when he talks about, lack of hatred for other people. I think that he would always give up everything that he's got going on in his life if Sporting came knocking on his door and said, "We need you again." That's a true Sportingista, and that's a true fucking president right there, in my opinion. And then I'll finish off with saying this, him reminding us of how many backstabbers he had to deal with during his time at Sporting, and the fact that he was able to continue to persevere and continue to push through for 5 years worth, all the way from old Dimu and the fucker who owns the SAD, all the way through the guys who quickly turned their backs on him in order to stay within Sporting now with Varandas administration. The fact that Alexandre Godinho did absolutely nothing wrong. Like he said, like, if you guys don't want him to be, or like he said, if you guys don't want me to be a socio of the club, why the fuck can Alexandre Godinho be? Why? Because he's my friend. That's his pecado. That's his big flaw. Like, that shit really puts in perspective how old school controlled Sporting still is, and people fail to realize that. I know Johnny at some point made a comment that this isn't the Sporting of my grandpa and father, but the fact of the matter is this is still very much the Sporting of our grandparents and our
yes, it is. All the guys behind the scenes are the exact same guys. It is the exact same Sporting. They just have a great fucking coach right now.
It is, and what on surface looks like it might be a new Sporting isn't, and there's this fucking old generation that continues to crack the whip and crack the whip and crack the whip. And that's why Sporting has gone fucking, one title in the past, 19 years, or 2 titles in the past 40 years, and so forth and so on. That's the problem at Sporting. That's what we've been fighting for. That's what Bruno Carvalho fought against. And at the end of the day, he wasn't strong enough to bring that down. And that was still something that we have to face today. Sporting was able to be champion, under the old farts presidents, but once in all those years, and in 2 times in 3 years, and we haven't been since. So it is doable. The problem with Sporting has been sustainability. Are we trying to win at all costs, or are we trying to, fill in a little gap here and there to say Sporting is still alive? And I feel like that's what Sporting has been doing. They're more interested in the fame. They're more interested in the notoriety and being able to say that they're presidents of Sporting and all the fucking goodies that come aside from it. Not so much putting their actual fucking skin on the line like Bruno Carvalho did. And the fact that he was able to articulate that and just show that passion to share with us, like Steph said, like, this is our podcast. We've had people come and go. Sometimes we can fill in, sometimes we can't. And you guys fucking killed it. The questions, the way that you commanded the presence there, that's all applause to you guys. Sam was not on tonight, but Chris and Danny. It was great. It was very much a culmination of hard work and us, putting in the time to get a moment like that. That was a fucking cool moment.
That was. I'll be really quick. The one I because I clipped everything up, I listened to it again, and I'm gonna be honest. Walking away from it the first time, I was like, oh fuck, like I don't know how good of a podcast we had. We just got Bruno Carvalho on. Still, so many questions we wanted to ask. We didn't really necessarily ask them. At the time of the podcast, I'm like, fuck, this guy's just rambling on and on. I think that worry came in only because when we asked him the COVID question, he went on for a little bit about it. And I'm like, fuck, like that was supposed to be a quick question sort of thing. So that had me stressed. But then when I'm re-listening to it, I'm like, oh, fuck, these guys are saying some good shit here, actually. Like, I'm just not paying attention. I'm like looking at the comments all the time or whatever. But yeah, like I loved it. I posted, I think on my Instagram or something, and I stand by it. I literally get on here with you guys, with people all over, like with Sportingistas that feel the club like I do. I'm in Toronto. Chris is in dirty Jersey, Steph's in Philly. You're down in Charlotte. And all we do is just, we get online, we talk shit about Sporting or Varandas, or we say our mind about the club that we love, and that's it. And the fact that the man took his time, both of the men took out their time to actually chat with us and give us exclusives like they did. And at the time, I wasn't appreciative of it. It was really sick for me. And the only other thing I wanted to say was on the podcast, I said, hopefully we have them back. I of course meant that. And when I said that, I hope we have them back, whether if not together, separately. I hope they didn't misconstrue me thinking I only wanted Bruno separately. That was actually towards having Alexandre Godinho separately, because unfortunately I wasn't just aware of too aware of him. Like I knew of him, but not too much about him. So we didn't necessarily have exact questions towards him. But whenever we did talk to him, the man was just a wealth of knowledge, and I fucked with him heavy. So yeah, I hope we have them both back. I hope we have Alexandre back. And yeah, it was great. Christian, I'll pass to you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like everyone else thankful that they, were willing to even come on our pod and and share the knowledge that they had, the stories that they had, in particular, like the VAR moment and him talking about the behind the scenes of the Godinho Lopes resignation, which honestly created more questions than it answered some questions, but then it created like 6 new ones. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to talk to him about that again sometime. Yeah, I mean, it vindicated anything that, everything that I've thought about him and, the unfairness. I mean, I didn't need to hear from him directly. I read everything. I knew everything that happened, So, I mean, it didn't really change my opinion of him or anything. If anything, it just like, this guy's fighting the good fight, and, recognizing that is like the correct recognition. And if you think that this guy is like the worst thing ever, then you're just a fucking sucker for like CMTV, and you're just you're spewing shit that's against your own interests at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Cheers to my guy Bruno. I just also want to say that this is shot number 6. I promised I would drink as many shots as points we were away from Benfica, but the fact that I have maybe 3 more to go and I have work tomorrow morning, I might not make it there, but here's number 6. Oh. Here's number 6 for those who are counting, aka Johnny. But Steph, let me pass it to you towards our modalities before we preview our next game, where we fly to Madeira again.
Okay, so let's talk about modalidades, track and field. At the meeting of Carl Voschi in Lessemen de Peso, our athlete, she won the golden medal, Oriol Dogmo, with 19 meters and 65 centimeters. So congratulations to her. In basketball, it was a pretty miserable performance. We lost all the 3 games. It just, I hate to say it, but it's just to show you how poor the Portuguese league is. The best team of Portugal couldn't win one single game in a small tournament in Poland to move on to the next phase. And then the 3rd game, we lost badly because our players were tired and exhausted. They're not geared towards that kind of evolution of basketball, evolved basketball. I hate to say it, but these players that played in Portugal, they're lucky to make the money they're making in Portugal, because they're not that good. Because when they compete against teams like these teams, they lose badly. I mean, it was close games, but at the same time, I was highly disappointed because we did invest a lot of money in this basketball team, and we couldn't win one single game. So disappointed with our basketball team.
Really, honestly, and it kind of was an all-in, right? This is the modality that they've gone all in on. They just got an expensive new reinforcement while announcing all the half the handball teams walking, and it was a fucking fail. The entire thing was a fucking fail.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, chime in.
The second game, I mean, I watched all these games. They're on YouTube. They're easy to watch. I was very excited for them. I mean, I didn't watch the second half of the 3rd one because we were interviewing Bruno Value, but I watched the other 2.5 halves or games. And yeah, I mean, it sucked, man. I don't know, like, Travante underperformed, I would say, definitely. It just like we still almost won the first 2 games, honestly, despite all the crazy shit that happened in those games.
It was 85, 83, 78, 67.
Yeah. I mean, the first game, I definitely I think the first team is better. I think the Israeli team is probably the best team of those 3. But they weren't that good. I mean, we didn't even need any new, like, if we played our game at the top of our game, I think we could have advanced, because as we know now, 1 win would have advanced us.
Yes.
All you need to do is win one of those.
One win.
Advance. So.
And this was a 2nd tier.
It's the 3rd tier. It's a 3rd tier technically.
This is a 3rd tier. You're right. Yeah, because we could have qualified for the 2nd tier.
And 0-3 in the 3rd tier. Yeah. Next year, boys. I have nothing more to say. I forget that this ever happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we got to win the league. That's it.
But it's just to show you that when our American players, they meet someone equal to them in another league, they're not that good. Anyway, futsal. Our ladies won 3-1 against Gopilheira. Great game by them. Okay, in Patins, our ladies won away against CH Carvalhos 5-3. Volleyball, our guys won 3-1 against Sporting Espinho. For the Portuguese Cup, we won away against Vitória Sporting Clube 3-0. Our ladies in basketball, they won away against Usbolnense 3-0. And then we won at home against Porto Volley 2014. And that's all I got for you, boys.
Sick. All right. Sporting on Friday, I believe, is going to Madeira to face Marítimo. Not sure of how the crazy weather is there, but as everybody knows, and as we've already been, exposed to, winter in Madeira is never fun to go to. But Sporting do play at Marítimo. Let me quickly run through Marítimo's last few games. I believe they won their last game. Let me just double check that. No, they lost to Guimarães, lost to Estoril and Taça Portugal, and then before that lost to Paços Ferreira 3-0. So they're on a 3-game losing streak, not looking good. Shout out to Kevin, who is a Marítimo fan because I believe he's from Madeira, but shout out to him. What do we make of the away trip to Marítimo? Nandu, I'll give that one to you, dude.
Well, them island games be fucking stressing me out, man. I'll tell you what. Like those island games are some damn trap games all the time.
I'll check the weather right now.
Weather, bro. First off,
we got Chris on weather.
First off, it's at the Madeira, so you know the damn plane is going to be all kinds of topsy-turvy as it tries to land. Like that shit's already going to make him fucking.
Oh my god! There's a 65% chance of rain.
Of course there is. I'm just hoping we pull a Nacional, not a Marítimo, but a game like we did against Nacional. Scrappy, another team win. And this is it. We need to start fucking winning games at all costs, however means necessary other than cheating because we're not Porto and Benfica. And let's get it, boys. I think we win 1-0 again, Paulinho.
I like it.
I'm trying to
like
hop on
it.
the bandwagon, bro.
I was not expecting that. Let me tell you, bro.
Give me my Paulinho goal, bro. I'll shut the fuck up.
How about you, Steph?
Well, all I gotta say is we're gonna win for sure. I have no doubts in my mind. We are super, super motivated. We finally got the play that Ruben Amorim wanted, Palhinha, and on top of it, Mateus Reis, and on top of it, João Pereira. So, and we still have Palhinha. Netos, he's out. He saw it. Yeah, he's out. Unless, like Chris said, unless we appeal. So, who the fuck knows? But we'll win, I'll say 3-0, hat trick of Paulinho.
Oh my god.
I like it. I love it. How about you, Chris?
I think it's gonna be I think they're not losing Rodrigo Pinho, right? So they're keeping their danger man. I mean, it's deja vu, right? It feels like we were already here. We played the 2 island games. They were both shitty, but got a result in one of them. I don't know. I mean, I hope we play better than the last game against Marítimo.
Completely different game.
Yeah.
We do know, everybody knows the Taça Portugal, everyone plays to win the game. Yeah. So this will be a different game. That's why I'm completely confident that
I think we'll probably win 2-0.
Yeah. They're on pretty bad form. I'm hopeful that, and I'm sure that the team wants to set shit right by beating them. I'm gonna also predict a win. I'm more confident because on Friday I work, so I'm going to wear my lucky shirt and my lucky sweater, and we're gonna be 5-0, baby, with that sweater. So there's no stress, guys. I'm gonna also say a 2-1 win because it's always Marítimo loves to fuck me over in terms of results. So it's going to be a sofrido 2-1 in my eyes. My app is also saying that Gil Vicente is on the Sunday, but I think that's wrong. It's probably on like Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday? Okay.
weird game.
So fair.
That's what I was
Yeah,
talking about. 3 weekdays in a row, right? Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
So we're about to be 8-0 because I'm working all those days. So no problem, guys. I got you. I got you. But yeah, that is our pod. Let me give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat, starting with Marco. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
Just a quick announcement. So we spoke
Yeah.
to Rui Chaves, what's his name on social media?
Give me 1 second.
He's right here. He's in the chat right here, isn't he?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. Alfrekerki. Oh, Alfrekerki. Yeah.
The real
Alfrekerki.
The real-
Tático da AG.
Yeah. So my man Rui Chaves, we invited him to come to our podcast, and he said he would. He's really, really, really good with everything about sporting. He's very knowledgeable with modalities. I believe he's one of the sources of Portugal that went to all the games at one point. He went to a lot of games, and he was actually invited by the Sporting administration. There's pictures on our Sporting newspaper and everything. So I can't wait to interview him and have him in our podcast, because if you want to meet a Sportingese, like a real Sportingese, that's the guy, man. He bleeds, and if you could bleed green, he would bleed green. And Sportingese 100%. He's amazing.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
next podcast, he'll be on our show, and I still have to get together with him to tell him when and what time.
Facts. Yeah. Can't wait for Rui to be on. Actually, he's always sick. He's always in our chats too. So shout out to you, Rui. I have no life. Yeah. No, I was laughing because when we were like searching for him, he's like, "Who's this asshole?"
Bro, I wish I had that life. Go to all the Sporting games, bro. What do you mean?
I mean, he listens to Sporting 160 podcast, and then he jumps on our podcast.
Right on ours.
Yeah. So this guy, I mean, he's not only a Sporting fan, he's a Sporting 160 fan and a Sporting 160EN fan. He's amazing.
Guy.
Yeah.
That's a great trifecta right there.
Yeah.
All right. That's our podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lauren Jenks, shout out to you. Shout out to Rui Chaves. See you soon, bro. Paul Costa, Marco Diaz, Philip. Sorry, I can't pronounce that first name, dude. Paul Pont, Richard Neves, our favorite Braga fan, David Pereira. Shout out to David. Sorry we stole your striker, bro. Shout out to New York's finest, Johnny Signero. I'm gonna miss a few people for sure because this thing doesn't go up enough. Antonio Farage,
Miguel Porfirio,
Deo Leão, Derek Gomes, Mikel Freitas, Felipe Almeida,
Brian Rego.
Say that again, stuff.
Brian Rego,
João Pedro Silva,
Jarek Phillip,
Guilherme Duarte. Bro, shout out to everybody. There's actually bare people today. We actually never get these numbers, bro. I actually do appreciate that. Footy 24/7. He's a Benfica fan. You're always welcome here. Jordan Bentoncourt, who I also went shot for shot with at last night on Instagram Live. So shout out to Jordan. Yeah. With that being said, guys, thank you for joining us. Follow us at Sporting160_EN on Twitter, Sporting160EN on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Spreadshirt. And still haven't made an OnlyFans yet, but not sure how much of you guys are interested in that. But I have lost weight, so if you guys are interested in that,
hey, bro,
just let me know.
I know
it. Cheers! Viva Sporting!
Viva
Sporting, guys.